Good evening, everyone. Welcome to TCS ION workshop on internships and placements transformation. This is Darshan. I head the marketing function for the education transformation unit at TCS ION. With this, I would like to introduce Ravindra Kembavi, our Chief Education Evangelist at TCS ION. So Ravi is a postgraduate in management. He has over 29 years of sales and management experience and has worked in various geographies. And Ravi is a polyglot and he speaks 6 languages. So welcome, Ravi. Over to you for the welcome address and the context setting.
Thank you, Darshan. Thanks for a very kind introduction. Good evening. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your time in participating in our workshop. Internship and placement transformation is one of the key dimensions which we are supporting our institutions, primarily to help institutions to leverage the expertise which we have in terms of various aspects that would help a student or institutions to gain the advantage that we have. So Ayush, can you move ahead, please? Yeah, thanks. So we are working on, we are supporting institutions on 4 key dimensions. Now, one of the key dimensions which we are working upon is a learning dimension where we have, I mean, we are all aware that, the current say in the market where, there is a lot of gap between what industry is looking for and what are the gaps in academia. So we have done a lot of research. We have invested a lot into identifying those gaps. What are those gaps, and how do we ensure that the institution as well as a student would get benefited out of this particular initiative which we are bringing in. So we have created or curated courses that are outcome-based courses. These are industry design courses. The learning component is designed with help of academicians, renowned academicians, and along with a lot of industry experts coming into play in creating these courses. Now, these courses, as I mentioned, has an outcome both in terms of internship as well as jobs. Some of the courses. So these courses again are created in alignment with AICTE and UGC guidelines. There are about 8 million plus learners, 50K plus courses on our platform who today are leveraging with our courses with the help of technology. So that is the first dimension which we are working on in supporting institutes to bring in right set of courses and skill the students to become more employable. Now, one of the aspects to this, looking at it, is that there are institutes who are investing or creating courses with help of some of the industry experts as well. But we from the industry, we know the kind of challenges what an institution would face in terms of creating such courses. Hence, we thought we'll package it, we'll make the burden, we'll take the burden from the institution side on ourselves by creating the relevant set of courses which are aligned to Industry 4.0 as well, so that the students graduating from these colleges would get benefited in terms of skilling themselves up. So that's learning dimension which we are working upon, and many institutions have really gone ahead and then they sort of integrated these courses into their curriculum. Some have really taken it to the next level by creating some BTech programs as well. So there is a lot of buzz in the educational sector on the learning products which we are supporting our institutions. The second dimension which we are working upon, most of you would know, is on the assessment. The assessment, we are one of the largest assessment organization in the world. So we have about 200 plus 200 million plus high-stake assessments conducted on our platform. Large high-stake exams have been conducted by us in India. Currently we just concluded the JEE exam, which most of you would be aware of. Even during COVID time, we have the ability to conduct such high-stake exam and without any glitch, without any challenges in terms of the COVID-19 situation. So that is our ability, that is our strength in delivering the assessment. Apart from the in-center assessment, we also have a remotely proctored assessment as well. So many of the institutions have gone ahead for their admission tests. Many large institutions have gone ahead. In fact, we just had a workshop on the assessment as well. Apart from learning dimension, we just concluded those in the last couple of days. So many institutions have gone ahead for their admission tests, for their semester end exams. So leveraging technology today is one of the key elements for any institute to excel and then be current with the situation what we are in today. So that is the second dimension which we are working on. The third dimension, which of course is today's workshop, which is placement and internship. So I mean, see, placement and internship, we all know that what value it carries for a student. So we have built an ecosystem to support students, institutes, to help them to getting right set of internship and of course the job support for them. An internship for an internship certificate from a TCS would add a lot of value to student CV. When student completes an internship, it adds a lot of value to CV, student CV when he goes out on the job market. Of course, a certificate from TCS will add a lot of credence to his candidature. Then today there are large number of students who have gone through this, who are going through the internship on our platform, right? And there are I mean, my team will take you through those details as well. We'll deep dive into this placement and internship, what we are talking about, right? We'll have a detailed view of it. Then the last but not the least, the fourth dimension which we are working upon is the operations of an institute. Now, one of the key levers for a decision maker in an institute to grow and is the ability to get data at any point in time of the institute. Meaning that if I am a decision maker of an institute, I should have all relevant data with me to take right decisions, so that it gives you the positive result of the decision. So leveraging technology again over here is a key element for any institute. And today there are many institutes and universities, large universities, who have adopted the technology, and we are one among the largest platform service providers in the country, where successfully many institutes have transformed from a paper pencil or from a paper rather management to the digital way of work style. So definitely technology does bring in a lot of transparency, lot of effectiveness in terms of taking decisions. It improves efficiency of people, and also it helps you to take very I would say decisions that would help you to grow your institute. right? So these are four key dimensions which we are working upon, and our mission at TCS iON is to transform education through an holistic and reinforcing transformation dimensions that can be easily adopted and replicated. So these are four key dimensions. So Darshan, I'll give it back to you for a detailed demonstration of placement and internship from the team.
Yeah, thanks, Ravi. So with this, we will move to the deep dive presentation on internships transformation. I would like to introduce Kannan Sridharan, our program manager. So Kannan, over to you, Kannan.
Thanks, Darshan. Good evening, everyone. Gives me immense pleasure to be virtually connected to you all to talk about TCS iON remote internships. Darshan, am I audible?
Yes, Kannan.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, sure. We launched remote internships. We call this in short as RIO in the month of May this year. It was an outcome of a lot of concerted effort from TCS iON team to address the various challenges posed by the pandemic, especially in the higher education segment. We did understand the constraints to doing the internship within the four walls of corporate offices. And also, we understood that we need to bring a structured approach to doing the internship. Keeping these primary factors in mind, we put together remote internships. I'm going to pause for a few seconds in each slide so that participants can make a note of any questions they may have before I move to the next slide. In this slide, I'm going to talk about our objective and what are our promises. Our objective is to leverage the digital platform we have to benefit huge number of students across various streams, to do location-free internship in some of the trending topics in the industry. And our promises are guaranteed internship for every applicant in their project of choice, and projects are curated in trending topics that can be done anytime, anywhere. I'll pause for a few seconds before I move on. In this slide, I just want to give you a perspective of what happens during the three stages of internship. Pre-internship, we are constantly curating a lot of projects that can be done remotely, and we have created a huge repository of projects as we speak. We have close to 170 projects that can that are in the repository. These are available in our website, which I will demonstrate to you as we go through the presentation, where students can come in, look at the projects available with us, decide what project they would like to do, and then they go register themselves, subscribe to that internship project, and get going with it. So this is what the student journey would be prior to the internship. During the internship, we have a consortium of mentors supporting each remote internship. Now, once a student comes on board, they will have access to the internship project elements and the various activities in our platform. They will also be able to connect to the industry mentor assigned for that particular remote internship through what we call as digital discussion room. It can also be referred as community. That's how they engage with the mentor, get whatever questions that they have on the project clarified, and move on completing the various internship activities. At the end of the internship, they do submit a project report based on the work that they have done, which gets evaluated by the industry mentor, and they provide their qualitative feedback on that along with some a rating based on the parameters chosen for the project. Post internship, after completing all the activities, student will be getting a certificate of completion for that internship. They can work with their academic institutes to claim academic credits depending on the remote internship they have done. We will come to it. We do have some variants which are structured for 1 credit, 3 credit, or 5 credit academic credits. The remote internships are structured to cater to all this. And we also are constantly onboarding some of the corporates who are interested in using this channel as a talent acquisition route. So wherever we have that kind of an opportunity, we do bring this to the students. And of course, we work with the students to gather feedback on the various elements we may need to work on to improve our services as part of this internship. So these are the 3 different stages in the internship. You will notice few blocks on the bottom of the slide. These are the various platform levers we have in putting this solution together. In the next slide, I will talk about the 3 variants I just talked about, which are designed to cater to academic credits of 1, 3, and 5. We have named it as Rio 45, Rio 125, and Rio 210. And the number 45, 125, and 210 indicates how many hours worth effort is involved in doing that internship. I also would like to say that the Rio construct that you are seeing on the slide, it is deliberately made additive in nature. What I mean by that is all elements that you see in Rio 45, it will be part of Rio 125. Likewise, whatever you see in Rio 125 will be part of Rio 210 with a difference in some components between 45 and 125. I'll explain that to you. And why I'm highlighting this is we have done a lot of work in ensuring we provide a structured approach to doing the internships. And also we have brought in the effort involved in doing the internship, variation in that, so that when student does a particular variant, the effort involved in doing that remote internship is going to vary. It is designed in such a way there is an incremental scope and effort. In Rio 45, there will be an industry project worth 15 hours of effort. And what we also provide is a bunch of project reference materials, which are self-learning materials, which are, they are curated from the public domain with the objective to aid the student to gather the concepts and the information which are required for them to start working on the project. During the course of internship, they will have access to industry mentors, as I explained, from whom they can seek any guidance, any questions, whatever they come across, they can post it and get clarification from the mentor. Students, they can also communicate with their peers who have signed up for the same internship project via the digital discussion room, and they can reap the benefits of collaborative learning. I will explain this a little more when we look at the product. As I mentioned, access to both the peers and the industry mentor, they are facilitated through a digital discussion group or community. Now, daily activity report is actually meant to capture and record the efforts put by the student towards learning, towards the project work, all the information gets captured in the daily activity reports and they get submitted in our platform. Now, mentors can take a look at this and then provide any course correction, provide any suggestions to the students to move ahead with their next steps. On completing the project work, the internship project, students submit their project reports that are evaluated by the industry mentors. Now, students will have to work with their academic mentors. See, we have industry mentor from TCS or any other internship provider who are partnering with us, who are supporting the student in doing the internship. When the project report gets submitted and evaluated by the industry mentor, a student is expected to go back to the institute, work with their academic side mentor, get the project report evaluated, get the Viva done, and then submit the feedback from the academic side as Viva report in our platform. We are not doing Viva from our side. We are only capturing the feedback the student is receiving from their academic institute to mark the completion of internship. I also would like to talk about test. We have a self-assessment test on the internship topic for every project. Students will have to take this test at the end of the internship, and this is again important for them to complete the internship in all perspectives. And if you notice, all the components that I just explained in Rio 45 will also be there in Rio 125. In addition to that, you will notice recorded webinars for about 4 hours. And of course, there is increase in the number of hours of industry project in Rio 125. Everything else remains the same. The recorded webinars are again provided by experts in that particular topic. It provides deeper insights and supplement information for the students to understand the internship project even more, and which will aid them in expediting the work that they have to do. Likewise, if you look at Rio 210, you will notice all the components you found in Rio 125 with change in the number of hours of effort for industry project. Additionally, you will also notice industry readiness skill. This is a self-learning module. They have personal behavioral skill, which we believe we have curated and put together this, which we believe are very essential for students for their workplace success. And as part of this internship, we are very clear that our objective is to ensure students are industry ready or job ready. So we are trying to bring in all the elements which will make them to leap forward in getting themselves ready the moment they are provided a job opportunity. And the cost that you see at the bottom are the MRP rates for each of these variants. I'll pause here for a moment before I move on to the next slide. Yeah, in this slide, I would like to talk about uniqueness of Rio. I'll touch upon what is in it for students and educational institutes. From a student perspective, Rio offers access to very large number of projects on various trending topics across technology and business domains. It gives them an ability to break free from the physical walls of corporates and do this internship anywhere, anytime, and there is no location dependency. And it also provides them an ability for them to do it at the comfort of their home amidst their academic work. From an institution perspective, it provides an opportunity for the institutes to achieve 100% internship for the students throughout the year. It is not necessary for the student to do it only during the summertime or winter breaks. Our platform provides internship throughout the year, and students can sign in at any point in time. They only have to make up their mind on the time they can dedicate towards this over the period of whatever time it takes for each of these variants. And RIO is aligned to AICTE and UGC guidelines. As you had noticed, we have structured it to cater to 1 credit, 3 credits, and 5 credits. And we also brought in that structure in a way that students can be evaluated uniformly. So these are very, very conscious, decisions and aspects and parameters we had taken when we structured and put together these internships. I'll pause for a second before we move on to the next slide. Yeah, in this slide, I would like to summarize our value proposition quickly. Access to large number of projects to choose from, projects on trending topics, location, independent approach to gaining industry exposure, standardized structure to doing internship, which in a way enables uniform process of evaluation and award of credits, alignment to AICTE and UGC guidelines in nutshell. So that's our value proposition. I'll pause for a second. With this, Ayush, I request you to, 1 minute. I just want to also show you a sample certificate, and this is issued for a student who had completed RIO 45 in web page UI design project. This is how it looks like, and depending on the variant, the number of hours will vary, and the duration from what time to what time they did will vary. Moving on to the next slide. So while Ayush takes a couple of minutes to show you a student testimonial, subsequently we will demonstrate the internship in our platform, which will give you a feel of how whatever I said right now is actually implemented. Ayush?
Just sharing one.
Yeah.
Ayush, audio is not on.
Audio is not there?
No.
Oh,
Okay, Ayush, can you give control back to me? I'll complete the product walkthrough and then we can play this.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe we take a couple of questions, Kannan, while Ayush tries to bring up the video testimonial of students. So, so Kannan, I think one area I think you will talk about it in a little more detail in terms of the specific projects and trending topics in which we are offering internships. You want to throw some light on that?
Sure. See, currently the internship projects that we have, as I mentioned, are across both technology and business domain. Technology projects, they pan across areas like AI, ML, DevOps, robotic process automation, blockchain, cloud, so on and so forth. And our intent here again is to give students an exposure to these technologies through related real world challenges. And with respect to business domain, we cover topics like automotive, education, edtech, talent management, marketing, product management, finance, economy, so on and so forth. And again, with an objective to provide real life scenarios and the problems in those kind of areas to the students. While I did touch upon these areas, as I mentioned, we are frequently kind of curating quite a lot of projects on an ongoing basis. When we started, we had very few projects, and now we are talking about 170 projects. So we are retiring some where and then including more. So our numbers are increasing, over a week or over a couple of weeks' time. That's how we are looking at aggregating more projects.
Yeah, I think we have a question from Monisha Ghosh. Probably Ravi can take this. What is the process of procurement? What is the process of procurement for an institute? We will cover it in detail, but yeah, maybe we might want to just mention it.
Yeah, I would like to cover it at the end of it, but if you want me to say that, see, I mean, for an institute, you can, our team will get in touch with you. That is first thing, and we will enable, your credentials to be onto our platform. So we'll take some KYC documents from your side, and we will enable that in the system so that you can do the purchase. But I'll definitely take you all through the next steps once the presentation is over. Darshan?
Yeah, thanks, thanks, Ravi. There is another question in terms of what is the duration of internship, and is there any specific time for internships?
Yeah, sure. See, Rio 45, we have put this for 10 days. Rio 125 is for 30 days, and Rio 210 is for 45 days. Having said that, we do understand the times we are in, the unprecedented times. So we also understand that students will be doing this amidst their academic work and amidst their personal work and whatnot. So, and at the same time, the industry mentors we bring in, they are also into projects, and they are dedicating their time to guide the students. Keeping all this in mind, we do understand there could be some delays. Student may not be able to complete it within the set duration of 10, 30, and 45 days. So we are generous in giving access for a slightly longer period. In fact, Rio 125 and 210, we are giving access to students for close to 90 days. We are not encouraging them to take so many days, but we do understand that our objective here is to ensure they are in a position to complete the internship well within this extended extra time that is provided as well. So, yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, Kanan. So the next question is I think it's quite obvious. So we are talking about remote internships here, but I think the question is the internships virtual?
Yes, they are. They are remote internships, and students will. We have curated the projects in such a way that we do have only those that can be done remotely. Considering the times where we are not able to get our employees into the physical walls, it is definitely not possible for us. And our objective is very clear here. We want to ensure that students get that exposure, industry exposure, especially at these testing times. And that's how we have structured the product, and we believe this is the way to go henceforth.
Yeah. The next question is how will the certificate help the students?
See, if the objective is very clear, the certificate is a testimony to the student's ability to work in a particular area, right? So the students are going to find it very relatively easier to transition themselves to take up industry job or industry. That's what we call as job ready or industry ready. So typically what happens after a student is put in a particular area, after he joins a company, he or she is going to find a lot of time to groom himself to get his foot firm in that particular area. I believe internships are going to help them leapfrog into getting the foot firm in a shorter period of time. And that's how we see it is going to help them. It adds credence to their profile for sure. It makes builds their ability to adapt and get acclimatized to the industry expectations.
Yeah. So the next question is, who can apply for this internship? Can second, third, or final year students do this internship? And is it any discipline or only selective?
Okay. See, I think it will be helpful if I can, Ayush, can you just go to that view all projects if you don't mind in the screen? While he brings it up, what I want to tell you is this is the screen. Whatever you are seeing is for a remote internship. In our portal, we have listed all the projects which we have under remote internship. Now, our objective here is we are not restricting any student, be it second year, third year, fourth year, or from any discipline to come and sign up for remote internship. But we are very clear in telling the information upfront to the students. There are certain prerequisites. There are and what discipline or what streams of students will find that particular project as more relevant. We have given this information in our portal itself. Having said that, if this, and as you can see in the screen, we are providing the title of the project. We are telling the domain. We are also giving a brief description of the project, prerequisites the students are expected to have, and the discipline or the stream which is recommended for. But we are not restricting the student if they want to sign up, because if a student says that I am going to put in that extra effort of a week or 10 days to study and come with, gain the knowledge and all the prerequisites, and then I would like to do this, we are more than happy to have them on board. So, but that's a conscious decision a student will have to take, looking at the projects which we have put up in the site. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. So Kannan, the next question is, are remote internships useful only for technical institutes or even for management institutions?
It is useful for management graduates also. We do have, I would request all the participants to spend some time looking at the projects we have put up there. We do have projects for BBA, MBA, MCOM. Again, this list is only growing, so you will find, if not today, if some of you do not find a project of your choice, a project that interests you, you may find it in some days. So, but please do write to us if you are looking for something and you are not finding it there. We'll be more than happy to see how we can curate and bring such projects on board. But yes, you will find those projects as well in this list.
Yeah, the next question is, in engineering, what are the branches remote internships can be offered, or is it for any specific branch?
Okay. Quite frankly, today you will find more for computer science and IT. There are some projects which are common and other non-IT students can also do. But as I mentioned, we are, as we speak, aggregating projects in electronics area as well. And there are few other experts we are talking to curate projects for the other areas as well. Mechanical projects are there already. You can find them. We are talking to some of the experts in other areas as well to curate. Yes, the number of projects today may not be large, but you will find some or the other when you take a look at this.
Yeah, so Kannan, I think we'll just take one more question and you can take the audience through the walkthrough. The
Okay.
next question is there any job opportunities after internship?
Currently, the internships are provided only by TCS ION. We are providing this with the objective that I explained. We do, if at all we have any other internship provider who gets onboarded, who is willing to use this platform to extend their internship, and they would like to take this as a talent acquisition route, we will definitely, bring this on to the students. At this point in time, no, we don't have that through this route. But I'm sure, when you talk about the other aspects, this will get much more clearer to them.
Yeah, Kannan, I think please go ahead with the walkthrough.
Okay.
Then we'll take further questions.
All right. So let's assume after a student or the educational institute purchases Rio for their student, and what they get is a bunch of license codes which the student can activate. After they come here to this portal, they register themselves, and then they will have to subsequently activate. Ayush?
Yeah.
Yeah. So can you go back to that screen and log in there? So now I have already created, registered, and then I'm just directly logging in here. But student will have to do the registration process and then activating a particular remote internship. Assume that process is already done, then all they have to do is they just have to come click on this My Dashboard that you see just below the search area. There they will see the remote internship construct, whatever they have signed up for. And once they expand, clicking on that right arrow, they will see something like course batch and community. I have taken Rio 210 for demonstration because that is all inclusive. It has all the components which are available in Rio 145 as well as 125. That's why I have taken that. In the case of Rio 210, you might have noticed two course constructs. The reason is one of them is a self-learning content on industry readiness skill. The other one is the construct for the remote internship. Whereas in the case of Rio 45 and Rio 125, you will only see one course construct. And after we come in, launch and then come into the internship construct, what you see on the left-hand side is a table of content. This has various nodes which are meant for various activities that need to be done in the internship. The first one is day-wise plan. Day-wise plan is also kind of a welcome deck for the student. It will give details of various activities, what each node means, what for the student. They can take a look at this to understand what exactly each node is meant for. For example, the pre-project test, activity report, project report, so on and so forth. Yeah. And then we also give a tentative schedule. What you see here in the screen as a table is a tentative schedule. It is not prescriptive, it is only suggestive. The idea of giving this is to tell the students how they can plan to set aside time to do this internship. We do understand some students may or may not be able to follow this, but then we wanted to give this upfront so that students can plan their activities. Of course, this is showing for 45 days. As I mentioned, it is available with extra time. However, it is given for 45 days and 220 hours of effort, how they can plan day-wise. It is suggestive. It is up to the students how they want to pace it. Some days they may have to put more effort. Some days they may not be able to put. We do understand that, but idea here is that we just want them to plan their availability accordingly. And lastly, they will also see some instructions here. Here we are highlighting how many days they will have access from the date they subscribe to. But we are very clearly telling them you need to ensure you get the industry mentor support for the initial. Predominantly, they will be available to clarify all your questions and all that. So students are expected to get everything clarified within that time, and then they can pace their completion of rest of the work accordingly. So subsequently, after they go through all this, what students need to do is to take, we call this as pre-test or baseline test. Essentially, this is a test on it's an aptitude test. It has 40 questions across quantitative ability, reasoning, and language, so on and so forth. The idea here is we want students to benchmark how well they are ready to take up any job opportunity that may come their way. And the intent is to ensure they benchmark and then they work upon improving it. And that is why we have given them 99 attempts. And we have not come across any instance where a student is not able to clear it within few attempts. This is not going to stop them from doing the internship, and that is why we have given so many number of attempts. But the objective here is for them to work towards keeping them ready for the job. And that's the reason we have inbuilt this baseline test. And subsequent to clearing this, all other nodes will be accessible for the student. Industry project node, which you are seeing here, as soon as student comes here, they will get a fair idea of what this internship project objective is and what are the steps they need to take to go about doing that internship project is detailed in the project guidelines. And also they will get to see what is the outcome they are expected to achieve at the end of this internship. All these are highlighted here, and also a quick write-up on what is the infrastructure or the environment they need to have to do this internship. We are aware that students will not have licensed software. So we have curated it in such a way where it can be done through open source tools or student licenses. That's how the projects are curated. And once they go through this industry project, they can also go through the project reference materials. I talked about self-learning material, which are curated from the public domain. Here we provide all such expert, curated content which students can go through. This will provide them little deeper information for the internship topic and also the concepts which are required for them to go ahead doing the project. Subsequently, after going through all this, also students may have some questions to ask the mentor, so they can get into this digital discussion room, which I talked about, which can also be called as community. This is where they will get to interact with the industry mentor and their peers. So as soon as they land here, what they get to see is a bunch of, all the community members. On your right side on the screen, you can notice there are 12 members in this project. And how will they know who their industry mentor is? You can see there is a badge on top of, couple of icons. They are the industry mentors for the student. So they can pose their questions to this. The others are all peers who are doing this internship project already. And I would like to take a few minutes to talk about the enablers we have given here, how the student engagement happens. You see enablers like blog, for example. Mentors use it to write a blog with detailed information, images, hyperlinks, so on and so forth, which the mentor want the student to go through to understand what other additional information they need to move ahead with the internship activity. Byte is more like a Twitter kind of message. It's a very short learning byte, which is about 140 characters or so, which the mentor can post at regular intervals. Debate, again, mentor can use this to provide debate for and debate against statements, and then encourage the students to register their views with the idea that it will deepen and broaden the understanding of the students. Event is something that the mentor can use to schedule webinars or anything else that they would like to, and as soon as they do that, it goes into the calendar that you see right below this calendar of the digital discussion room. Idea is again something students could use. Suppose if students do have some innovative ideas or improvements that they feel can be done in this internship, they can post it here. Sometimes they can even use it to solve the issues faced by other students. And that's how the knowledge sharing and the peer learning happens. Media is again something the mentor can drag and drop some images and videos, files which are relevant for this project related artifacts that can be shared here. Question is the one very frequently used by the students to ask questions, queries to the industry mentor. Mentor can use the quiz enabler to conduct a quiz, which typically has single or multiple choice true or false kind of questions. Survey is used to get feedback from the community members. And finally, the user poll is used to take opinion of the community members on certain aspects. So these are the various enablers which are available for the mentor and the student to actively engage while they are doing the internship. Now I would like to go back to the construct, Ayush, and while he now Ayush brings that up, I will also show you the other nodes like recorded webinars, the project report, daily activity report, project test, whatever I talked about. Recorded webinars are available, as I explained, only in the case of Rio 125 and Rio 210. They will be loaded here. Students can take a look at these webinars for additional learning and of concepts and information related to the project. And project report is the one the student is expected to submit at the end of the internship for industry mentors evaluation. Here the industry mentor will look at it from 6 different attributes. For example, students' understanding of the problem, students' approach towards providing the solution, the areas of improvement, like this, the quality of documentation. Like there are 6 different attributes in which the mentor evaluates the student, provides qualitative feedback, and rates rates each parameter in the scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the best. We are not grading the students here. The grades will have to be provided. The academic credits will have to be provided by the academic institute. However, we do provide the rating against these parameters, and the qualitative comments received from the industry mentor will be made available to the academic institute. Activity report is the daily activity that I talked about. This is like a status report capturing the effort put by student against each internship activity daily, be it self-learning, be it project-related work, project report documentation, whatever it is. They need to register all those details here. Again, this is kept in alignment to the AICTE guidelines, where we need to keep a track of all the activity, the effort towards the activities in the internship. And After this, we have project test. I talked about this. This is a self-assessment test on the internship topic, which students can take. Again, we have given 99 attempts here. Our intent is to ensure that students benchmark, their understanding of the internship topic, and if they are, and work on improving their understanding on the internship topic. So that's how this is something that they need to take at the end of the internship. Subsequently, you will see a node called Viva. I talked about this earlier also. Our objective here is we are not doing Viva. Students are expected to work with their academic institute, academic mentor, get the Viva done, and submit the remarks received from the academic institute as a document here, which will mark the completion of internship. Subsequently, student will be able to generate their digital certificate. Now, there are students who are coming directly to us, not through the educational institutes. In such cases, this Viva process works slightly differently, but I'm not covering it because it's not relevant in this case. But we are catering to students both directly coming to us as well as coming through the educational institute. I just wanted to leave it at that. And that kind of covers the product walkthrough. Before, I also wanted to cover one more link. I talked about how we are sharing the information with the academic mentor. Ayush, if you can give control to me, I will quickly cover that as well. Ayush? Are you able to see my screen? Hello?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So we have developed a web page, and what we do is we give access to the academic mentor who was chosen by the student when they are registering in our portal. So we have and immediately we email the academic mentor with the web page, web link, along with the user credentials. And once they log into this web page, they will be able to see all the students they are mentoring. Here in this case, I have already logged in. There are 2 students for this academic mentor. So once they log in here, their details are shown. They can click the eye kind of icon on the left side here if they want to see the details of the student. So I need to log in again. Just a minute. Just give me a minute. I'll have to log in again. Yeah, sorry about that. I logged before the start of the session, so it expired. So once the academic mentor logs in here, they can click on the student they would like to see. And here in this portal, what we share with them is the project report. They can download. So the version, whatever the student has submitted to us, is available for them to download and see. Here, the remarks on the right-hand side of the screen are the remarks provided and the rating provided on the 6 parameters by the industry mentor, which is also made available to the academic mentor. And all the daily activity reports which are submitted by the student are available for download from here. And The project test, whatever the student has scored, that is also available here. The idea of sharing this, as I said, is to take this as an input apart from the Viva, basis which the student can be evaluated, and a Viva remarks can be submitted in our portal. That's all I had to cover as part of the product walkthrough. Over to you, Ayush.
Yeah, thanks,
My name is Elish Thakur. So, I have completed HCL from
Now, the next section on placement transformation. So I would like to request Nikhil Rana, our product consultant, to take us through that. Nikhil, over to you.
Yeah, Kanan. So, Darshan, my voice is loud and clear?
Yes, Nikhil.
Okay. Let me know once my screen is visible.
It is now. Please go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I am Nikhil Rana, product consultant for learning products. I invite everyone to this webinar, and I would like to thank Kanan sir to showcase and walk us through the different variants and uniqueness of Rio. Indeed, it was a very good presentation. Now I would like to walk you through a very useful certification, which is CertainEdge. So according to EC Council, 88% of the employers believe that it is important to test after training. After training. So 80 is as per the survey done by the EC Council, 88% of the employers believe that it is important to test after training to confirm the knowledge gains. So CertainEdge is designed in such a way which validates the application knowledge and the skill learned in the specific area. Considering this, we came up with a certification which is industry relevant, which gives us industry relevant skills and ability to showcase skill portfolio. See, nowadays certification in most trending job roles and skills are in demand, which enable students to stand out in competitive information technology industry. So this CertainEdge is designed with the most industry relevant skills and aligned to the most industry relevant skills, which is right now in the demand. Coming to the construct part, it is a two-stage assessment aimed at testing the knowledge and practical application skill of learner on the basic aspects of software engineering. Now, undergraduate, fresh graduates, young working professionals with up to 2 years or 1 year experience can also apply. It is the part 1 is the MCQ based question aimed at testing the theoretical knowledge of the learner, and part B, which is part 2, is the coding based assessment, which aims at testing the practical knowledge of the learner. Then duration of the part 1 is 60 minutes, and duration of the part 2 may varies from 1 hour to 2 hours based on the certification they are opting for. Now talking about some of the features and benefits. The CertainEdge certification, which is designed specifically for learners, it enables them to differentiate themselves in their skill area. That will propel them in their chosen, you can say, in their chosen career path. So as I explained, earlier also, our thesis and certain access skill level of student in two stages. One is test of knowledge and test of application, wherein the outcome is a certification and knowledge to the student. However, this certification is accepted widely in the industry. Now, these are the variants and pricing. So the variants which I currently have, the certification is divided into next generation skills and legacy skills. So if I talk about the curriculum which we have covered to build the content, one is, I can give you an example. For Java, we have taken OOPS concept, packages, multi-threading and synchronization. For AI, we have taken reinforcement learning, neural network architecture. So these are the few advanced curriculum which we have taken and build our certification based on these content. This is a sample certificate which student will get. So student who will pass the certification, they will get a completion certificate. However, student who do not pass the certification, they get a participation certificate signed by the signing authority of the TCSAN. Now, moving to the next product, which is TCSAN Prep for Job. In Prep for Job, it is a platform for all the students who are preparing for various competitive and recruitment examinations, you can say. It can be for a bank job or for an administrative job. So it is a self-proctored assessment that tests candidates on multiple skills and abilities. This prep test product not only assesses these candidates on multiple parameters based on the current exam pattern, but also provides scores for each module attempted and highlights the areas of improvement using a strong analytics. So I'll be talking about the analytics. I'll walk you through the insight report which a candidate gets once he complete the assessment. So moving towards the construct part, this assessment construct is very simple yet very strong. It has 3 sections which comprises of 20 questions each and a total of 60 questions. The first section is a quantitative aptitude. The second section is reasoning ability, and third is an English language section. Combining all 3 create a very strong test construct with later questions. Features and benefits. So if I list some of the features and benefits which are help students, working professionals, they get an edge by assessing their readiness for recruitment tests. They get equipped with personalized real-time analytical reports, enabling users to assess and track their section-wide performance and improvement areas. This assessment can be given anytime, anywhere, and from any device. So we have tested on all the platforms. It is successful, and student can appear from any device. Content of the assessment is prepared by our subject matter experts, which are expert in the area. This is the sample report which I was talking about. I would like to walk you through this sample report. So this is the report. Once student completes the assessment, prep for job assessment, he gets this. It's a very detailed report. It gives you the insight of the assessment, how student has performed. So student will get a total score, then the assessment score is there, cut-off marks will be there, his percentage and performance level. So as you can say, his performance level was poor and very low, very low.
Nikhil, your screen is not visible.
Okay. Is it visible now?
Not yet, Nikhil.
Otherwise, reshare the content.
Share it
I'll
again.
reshare the. Yeah. You let me know if it's visible now.
It is now. Please go ahead.
Okay. So this is the report which I was talking about. When students complete the assessment, student get this deep insight about the assessment, how he has performed based on various performance indicators. So he will get the total score of the student. This is the assessment score, cut-off marks, percentage, his percentage, and a category. So on poor, he is in the lower L category, which is our low category. So these are the performance indicators. So for example, if a student gets marks between 91 to 100%, he will be in the excellent E category. Similarly, if he gets between 81 to 90%, he is in the high category, and 61 to 80 is moderate, and below 60 is low. So these are the performance indicators. So for English language 1, if student gets above 27, he will be placed in the excellent category. Between 24 to 27, he will be placed in the high. 18 to 24 is moderate, and below 18 is low. So this is the mark-based, score-based performance indicator. So now student, where student stands? So this student stands, he has performed, he has scored 8 marks out of 30 in English language 1. In English language 2, he has scored 0. Reasoning ability, he has scored 2 out of 40, and quantity, he has scored 6 out of 40. So he is placed in the low category, L category. We give recommendations, suggestions also that your score falls in the L category. Please attain more knowledge and practice more number of questions. And you seem to be manipulating all sections. Please attain more knowledge and practice more number of questions. So these are some of the suggestions and recommendations. Now coming to the analytical part. So this is the overall performance of the student. So it gives an insight of all the questions he has attempted. So English language 1, this student has got 8 marks. He has got 26%, and total questions were 15. However, he has attempted only 6. Out of 6, 4 are correct, 2 are incorrect, and 9 are unanswered. Similarly, for English language 2 also, out of 5 total questions, he has scored only he has not attempted anything. In the reasoning ability, number of questions are 20, question attempted are 5, and correct question are 1, incorrect are 4. So similarly, he is getting a deep insight of all the sections, how he has performed, how many were correct, how many were incorrect. So basic meaning of this analysis is this. So now he'll get a graphical representation of the marks. So he has scored most of his marks in English language 1, followed by quantitative aptitude, and followed by reasoning and English language 2. Next analysis is the time management analysis, which gives him a time spent by the student in each section. So he's spent only 0.78 minutes in English language 1. English language 2 is only 0.18. Reasoning ability 0.35, and most of the time he has spent in quantitative aptitude, which is 11.40 minutes. Out of which total time spent was 12 minutes 72 seconds. This is a recommendation which is given by us, that it is essential for each aspirant to plan schedule time for each section diligently. This is important to score well in each section and ultimately meet the cutoff. Now we also give a section-wise analysis of each section, which is followed by a question-wise analysis also. So section-wise analysis include again marks scored, percentage he has scored, and time span. Again, it is represented by a graphical pie chart. And the most important part is the question-wise analysis. Now, this student, he has marked this question correct. Our response was, we will give him the correct option, and his status was correct. So he has marked this question. He has marked this question as correct. Now coming to question number 2, which is again a correct one. So comment from us are, you are on the right preparation track on this topic. Now I'll show you an incorrect question. What happens in the case of incorrect question? So this question number 3, which was marked incorrect by the student, we have given a brief description of how to solve it. So every incorrect question will follow a brief description of how you can solve this question. We will give him a right option also, and with the correct comment. Same goes for all the section English language 2 also. His time spent, his percentage he has scored, question-wise analysis. So again, he has marked the incorrect question. He has given an incorrect answer. So we have given him how to solve it, that you can solve to stop thinking of girl child. You see, question was, if we have to stop regarding girls as a burden on the family, we must begin by, these are the options. So the recommendation, the description is, to stop thinking of girl child as a burden, one should begin with the families. Indeed, a very good recommendation. So you can see for every incorrect question, we have given him the option, correct option, and the way to solve it. This follows in other section also, reasoning by ability, again question by analysis, and same goes for quantitative aptitude also. So now for a quantitative aptitude test, this was the question. He has given an incorrect option. He solved it incorrectly. We have given the correct way to solve it, how he can get the correct answer. So for every incorrect question, student will get a way that how can he mark it correctly. What is the logic behind to solve it? This was the report I wanted to show. Moving back to the presentation. Darshan, my screen is visible.
Not yet, Nikhil. Yeah, so Nikhil, in the interest of time, can you please complete in the next minute or so?
Yeah, sure. I'm just yeah. So what is the value proposition? It will increase the skill level of the student and especially the industry relevant skill which will make them more job ready. Students who are preparing for any recruitment exam.
Nikhil, we can't see your screen. Ayush, probably you can project.
I'll just reshare it. Just
Yeah.
visible now. Right?
Yes. Put it on full screen.
Okay. So I was talking about the value proposition. It will increase the skill level of the student, especially the industry relevant skill which will make them job ready. Students who are preparing for any recruitment examination, for any competitive examination, this preferred job will take away all the hassle of preparing and finding the right content. Now, finding the right content is the most difficult part. As I mentioned earlier, also most recruiters will always believe in standardized, uniform way to test the skill attained by a student. So your student will get a chance to get a certification which has industry aligned certification and skills. And when a student gets placed, by certification or by assessment, this is going to be the student placement ratio of your institute. Bulk purchase model, I think Ravi sir will be explaining it, but I'll just take a minute to explain. So by now, if you all, I'm sure you all are interested in these products, and if you want to buy, we will be boarding your institute, wherein we will be mapping all the IDs, and we will be then you have to come back and you have to purchase the license. You can distribute those licenses to the student. Student will again come back to the learning hub. They will activate the license and they can start appearing for the assessment, or they can start the certification. Yeah, thank you. Thanks from.
Yeah, thanks, Nikhil. Ravi, over to you for the next steps and the way forward. So while we are opening up for a poll, request all the attendees to take the poll. Ravi, over to you for the next steps and way forward.
Thanks, Darshan. Thanks, Kanan. Thanks, Nikhil. So very quickly, while Nikhil did explain about simple, the steps of, buying, these are 4 simple steps, right? I mean, the first step is that we'll connect with you, right? Also, you can write to us on inquiry.tcsion@tcs.com, right? As an institute, you can write to us. So we'll connect with you is the first step. Second, you provide us KYC documents, basic documents. And we will create, the third step is we'll create your login credentials on our hub. Then you log on to our hub and then, buy the number of licenses. So it's as simple as that. It's a pure half a day job for you to get into the hub and then, buy the licenses. So, I mean, you can see on the screen as well that, there was a survey which was taken in 2017, and most of the employers they are looking out for graduates who can demonstrate the. Can you go back, please? Yeah, thanks. Who can demonstrate the industry experience while learning. So internship does play a key role. So does the certifications which Nikhil spoke about. So does the preparation for such jobs which are part of our offering. So we have created a bundle where a student can prepare, student can learn, student can get certified, student can also do internship, which are required by the industry. So as an institute, what are the benefits? These are designed by AICTE and UGC guidelines, especially RIO I'm talking about. And we provide 100% internship for all the students who would register for it. There is no screening at that particular level. Students' benefit is that they learn, they practice industry skills which are really required today for them to demonstrate to their prospective employers that they already are ready for the job, right? So make most of it. Make remote internship as an institute. You can make internship mandatory for your students. While we understand that not everyone can do it, some of the institutes are guided by certain guidelines. So you can buy in bulk for your students. I mean, you can do that. So there is a special offer for institutes who would do the booking before 30th of September. So you can get already highly subsidized price because of pandemic, but we still want to give a further leeway in terms of discounts to the institutes who would register their booking before 30th of September. So kindly get in touch with us. We definitely will get in touch with all the institutes who have registered. So you have any queries, I do hope that we have answered all your queries. If not, if you have missed some of your queries, kindly do write to us. We'll be happy to revert back to you. And also, kindly get in touch with us for the next steps. Our team will assist you in onboarding. So over to you, Darshan. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. So let's take a few questions. Yeah, so if the participants have any more questions, so please do put them on the chat screen or on the Q&A window. Kannan, I think we should talk about some of the projects in which areas, give few examples of projects. I think there is a lot of questions on what kind of projects are available.
Darshan, I think we did address this. My request is to probably share that link. I don't know. Can we show that again one more time? Because I can say that domains at large, but every individual project I may not be able to list down in this call right away. We definitely do have projects in areas, tech areas like AI, ML, data science, DevOps, robotic process automation, blockchain, cloud computing, stack development, digital marketing. Like this, I can keep going on, to say the various technology projects we have. And with respect to the business domains, we have projects for automotive, education, talent management, talent development, marketing, edtech, product management, finance, economy, so on and so forth. So yes, of course, we are, as we speak, trying to bring more projects in the areas of electronics and electrical as well. We are talking to some of the experts, in those areas to curate projects which can be done remotely. But you will be able to get a complete list of, as I said, there are 170 projects which are listed in our portal. I would request everyone to spend 5 to 10 minutes to quickly go through, because we have given everything, the domain of the internship project, what the project title is, what is the description of the project, what are the prerequisites the student need to have to do that internship, and to whom it is recommended for. Every detail is provided in the website for students to take a look at before they subscribe.
Yeah, thanks, Kannan. So the next question is, prep for job is prepared to suit which type of jobs?
This is for basically when the student is preparing for any competitive exam, any recruitment exam, wherein he is expecting question from reasoning ability, English, quant. So those job seekers, those people who are looking for all these kind of examination, they can prepare, they can take this prep for job.
I'll just add to what Nikhil has mentioned. So typically what happens is, because these are freshers, mostly corporates look for cognitive competence, and hence this will be useful for across multiple corporates. And very specifically, if somebody is asking for domain specific, that is a different one. But in general, for freshers, they are tested mainly on cognitive ability.
Yeah, thanks, Cynthia. So the next question is, do we have provisions of internship for niche programs like MBA, environment management, energy management, sustainable renewable sector, MBA hospital management, and MSc? Can MSc students also apply?
Repeat some of the information which was shared again in the previous session. We have provided all the information available on the project. We are not restricting anybody from applying for any remote internship. There are projects meant for MBA students available in our portal. They will be able to find something or the other, in my view, but of course, they need to spend some time to look at what is available there and sign up for something that interests them. We do have projects in, if I have to answer it in one word.
Kannan, I think a follow-up question. So is the certificate which is provided, will it be eligible for credits from the university and from the college?
See, the course construct or the internship is constructed in alignment to the expectations of AICTE guidelines. So what we are saying by giving you a certificate of completion is, one, we are acknowledging your effort towards working in a particular internship project, and we are making all the artifacts submitted by the student available to the academic institute, because it is the academic institute, end of the day, who will have to provide the academic credits to the student. We are facilitating this process by sharing all the students' artifacts with the academic institute. They can do the viva. Looking at that evaluation, they can provide academic credits to the student. It will be the responsibility of the academic institute. We are facilitating this process by structuring it in a way that AICTE recommends for 1 credit or 3 credits or 5 credits, and also sharing the artifacts submitted by the student with the academic institute for the evaluation and consideration for academic credit award.
Yeah. So Kannan, the next question is, what is the role of the academic mentor?
Academic mentor, see, this internship project will be done with the guidance received from the industry mentor. Academic mentor's responsibility will be to do viva for the student when the internship project gets over, and the academic mentor is going to help the student in getting the grades, in getting the academic credits. So it is only the time of viva they come into the picture. During the course, they are very much open to understand what the student is doing, and it's up to them. But from a process perspective, the role expected is to do the viva for the student towards the end of the internship. And we provide the feedback from the industry mentor along with the rating qualitative comments and the rating provided for the project work done by the student. Whatever the industry mentor shares, that will be made available to the academic mentor.
Yeah, the next question is, will the projects be live from the industry?
It's a combination of both because there are certain projects we will not be able to share the data, but what we have done is we have mimicked a business challenge for the students to do. So in such cases, I don't know how you call it, it is a live challenge. You may not have live data.
Okay, the next question is, so the question from Rajesh Kumar, if we have taken license for Prep4 Job module, do our students, will they have any orientation session about the test pattern, as well as any industry expert trainers will give a session on the test as well?
So this construct, as I explained earlier also, this will, for one subscription, it will give you 2 practice tests. Okay, one subscription will have 2 practice tests and 2 insight reports. However, we will not be able to give you any mentor or someone, but one subscription will give you 2 practice tests.
Yeah, just to add to that, from an institute perspective, definitely we'll be happy to do a individual workshop on the product and what it offers, so that the faculty and the students are pretty clear on the overall concept and how it can be leveraged by the students for their job preparedness.
Yeah, thanks, Darshan. Thanks. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the next question is, will this internship is relevant for diploma students as well?
See, again, I seem to be repetitive. We are not interviewing or evaluating a student based on their stream or based on their meeting all the prerequisites. It is up to the student to take that call. They will have to take that informed decision. If they are coming on board, we are not restricting them. Again, I'm saying this from the perspective of internships which are live as on date. Suppose if there is another internship provider who uses our platform to provide these Rio variants, and if they are particular about taking certain onboarding process, we will stick to it. At this point in time, all the projects we have curated is open to all. But it is up to the student to find out the details of the project, see whether they will be able to take that challenge and complete it within the stipulated time.
Yeah, the next question is, do we get the list of companies who are recruiters and their score cutoffs to get placed?
So I think this question is for CertainEdge, I guess. So I can share a few recruiters or hiring partners which we have tie-up with. We will be sharing the profiles of the student. So name a few, which is Sterling Software Private Limited, On Mobile Global Limited, then Sneakouts IT Solutions. So these are the few recruiters wherein you can share the profile of the candidates who successfully complete the certification. However, the placement and everything is dependent on the performance of the candidate in the job and the requirement of that skill to the recruiter.
Cynthia, do you want to add anything on this?
Yes, so just to add to what Nikhil mentioned, we will definitely share. In fact, our microsite also has those details. We'll definitely share. We'll let our team get connected with you, share more details about the certification programs and how it is going to benefit your students. Also, like Nikhil mentioned, couple of names. I'm sure those are partial list, but we'll definitely share those details.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we are already 16-17 minutes past the slot. So we will wrap up now. So if you have any further inquiries, please do write to us at enquiry.tcsion@tcs.com. We will be happy to assist you in your journey. And Ravi, any closing comments?
Thanks, Darshan. Thank you everyone for taking off your time and valuable time going through our detailed presentation. I sincerely hope that you have liked our presentation. You have, your students would get benefited is our aim basically. So do reach out to us. We will definitely after this call will send out request mailers for you all. To show if you are interested, then we'll take it forward. So there are simple steps to, as I mentioned, to register and then go ahead with these offerings which we have. Thank you everyone. Thanks for your time. Have a great evening.
Thank you everyone for joining in. Please do write to us with your inquiries at enquiry.tcsion@tcs.com. Thank you all for joining in.